My name is Raza Masood. Today we will discuss about the topic sunk cost. Friend, let me tell you that this is a very easy topic to understand, and it is pertaining to project management or PMBOK project management body of knowledge. First of all, I would request to please subscribe to my channel and also click on the bell option. So let's start. What is basically a sunk cost? Just consider or just think about the name of this topic, sunk cost. Cost, basically it is a type of cost which is sunk means you can in generally you can see sunk, which is basically cannot be recovered. Sunk cannot be recovered. So that means a cost which cannot be recovered. It is basically called as sunk cost. In general terms, basically sunk is the cost which is basically expended or which is expended on a project. So the cost which we have expended on a project is basically a sunk cost, and it is not recoverable. We cannot recover the cost which is basically expended on a project. Normally, according accounting standards say that sunk cost should not be considered when deciding whether to continue with a troubled project or trouble project. Means that the cost which is expended on a project, it is not a basic criteria to decide about the project whether to continue or not continue. Basically, sunk cost means the cost which is expended on a project and it cannot be recovered, but it is not a main criteria to decide about a project to continue or not continue. So hope you understand the concept of topic sunk cost. Sunk means expended or which cannot be recovered. So let me give you an example from a question. Guys, if you let me give you a simple example. For example, an organization has a project with initial budget of $1 million. The project is half complete and it has spent $2 million. Should the organization consider the fact that it is already $1 million over budget when determining whether to continue with the project? So friend, in the PMP exam you can see these types of questions, so just be ready to, you should have a very good idea about the concept of sunk cost, and you will definitely see around 4 to 5 questions related to sunk cost. So you should have a very good concept of sunk cost. If you have the idea, remember that it is very easy to answer. In just few seconds you can give the answer, because see, in the topic related to sunk cost there is no such type of calculation, only the concept you have, then you can answer. See here from it is the concept. It is basically a question which you can see from PMP. $1 million was the initial budget. In the project you have spent $2 million. So should the organization consider the fact it is already $1 million over budget or not? Because it is the basic criteria. So let me ask from you first, what is your answer? It is over budget or not budget? Just think about it. 1 minute. I am giving you 1 minute. Just think about it, whether the project is over budget or not over budget. Because if it's over budget, then we shouldn't continue that project. We should discontinue the project, because if it is over budget. The first question is whether the project is over budget $1 million or not over budget. So just review the question and try to answer. So the answer is no, because the money spent is gone. Why? Because see, from here in the initial slide I have shown you that the accounting standard says that the sunk cost should not be considered when deciding whether to continue with a trouble project or not. So remember, whenever you see these types of question, remember that the sunk cost is a cost which is basically expended on a project and it cannot be recovered, and it is not sunk whenever we talk about sunk cost or expended cost. So it is not the criteria to decide about whether to continue a project or not continue, because it is the cost which is expended. It is gone. it is you can see it is sunk. Sunk means it is lost. It lost, no, it is basically expended, it is gone. So whenever we talk about a project to continue or not continue, we cannot make a criteria of sunk cost, the cost which is expended. Never make a criteria about sunk cost to determine whether to continue a project or not continue, because the sunk cost is the cost which is expended, it is gone. So you should not ever make a criteria of sunk cost to decide whether to continue a project or not continue. So the question about the answer about this question is no, the money spent is gone. So again, try to understand, the sunk cost is basically the cost which is expended on a project, and it is not recoverable. We cannot recover the cost which is expended on a project. And whenever we are deciding about a project to continue or not continue, we cannot make a criteria of sunk cost to decide whether to continue a project or not continue. Remember one thing, we cannot make criteria of sunk cost to decide whether to continue a project or not continue. So friend, I have tried my level best to explain you the concept of sunk cost. Hope you like this video. Please share it with your friends and colleagues, and if you have any question, please ask from me, and I would love to answer your questions. So thanks a lot for your time, and that's all from my side, and thanks a lot for giving me time. Thank you.